We've got some exciting news from Kershaw Knives today. Not only are they expanding the very popular Bel Air series in an interesting way, we've also got the first new USA-made fixed blade from Kershaw in a number of years. Let's check it all out right after this. So hey everyone, David C. Anderson here coming at you from the Knife Center. Want to introduce you to our good friend Andrew Keel, a designer at Kershaw. Couldn't have him in the building today, but we do have him cybernetically, or whatever you want to call it. Andrew, how you doing, man?
Good, man. It's good to see you.
Always good to see you. Andrew, if I forgot if I mentioned it already or not, he's one of the designers working for Kershaw, and he's here to kind of take us through the new stuff. And I'm a fixed blade guy. Andrew knows that. So we're going to start with the new USA fixed blade from Kershaw. Andrew, tell me about the Pack Mule.
Dude, I'm so excited. As you know, we've been doing fixed blades with Kershaw on the import side for a while, and then we've done a couple of ZT fixed blades. But now we have a US Kershaw fixed blade, which I'm very excited about. My dream for this knife, for the Pack Mule, is that it's going to live kind of at the intersection between like outdoor hunting and everyday carry, something that kind of serves all of those well. And so, yeah, we'll see. I'm really excited to get your thoughts and feedback on it once you get it in hand. We've got, start off with 3.9-inch blade, N690 blade steel with a working finish. And we've got black G10 handles on here that are really, really comfortable. We've run like a radius around the corner around the edge here. It's super comfortable in hand, locks in really nicely. You've got that natural G10 texture, that medium texture right there, which is really nice. And we've gone with G10 for like the hunting crew so that it's really easy to clean as well. You know, if you're skinning an animal or processing meat, you're going to be able to clean this off really easily. And the blade's not coated, which is going to be good for that as well. So
yeah, looking at those handles, like, you know, you said you're trying to, you know, intersect it between like everyday carry and outdoor, kind of generically speaking. So like nailing, unfortunately, the Pack Mule is the one knife I don't have in hand on the day we're filming this. So kind of nailing that balance of like thick enough for, you know, big hard work when you're outdoors, but not so bulky that it's going to, you know, take away from the ability to carry it day to day. It'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to getting that one in my hands for sure.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's got a full flat grind as well on there, so you're going to have that really good edge geometry, which I feel like for skinning and for everyday carry is going to be incredible. Also, for camping bushcraft stuff, you've got a 90, just like a full 90 edge here on the spine, and can confirm it strikes really, really well on a ferro rod.
Very nice.
Yeah, and these scales can come right off really easily. You've got, I believe, a T15 in there on those screws and nuts come off. You got a lanyard hole right there. Got a little bit of jimping kind of hidden away here. It sits below the outer surface of that G10, so it's just a little bit of texture. Most of your texture is coming from that G10 and then the jimping here on the spine, but it's really comfortable in hand. Yeah, and I'm excited to see what people think. We've got a sheath as well, made in the USA as well. The sheath and the knife are both US made, which is very exciting.
Very cool.
And we got just Kydex, but what I really like about this, I've seen a lot of different Kydex sheaths in the world of everyday carry. It's really nice to have something that has that taco style, so where you have the rivets just on one side and it's kind of loop over.
Kind of minimizes the footprint a bit. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Very compact. And then we've got the thumb ramp here as well, which is really comfortable. The detent, if you will, or the retention on that sheath feels really good. It's enough to keep it in there, but it also comes out nice and easy. A big feature of this too, I know a lot of people like their aftermarket sheath stuff. So we've designed this belt loop so that if you want to just carry it as it comes, you've got an option to carry it. But also there's an extra Kydex loop here that connects to the belt loop. You've got screws here. You can take this off, and the rivets are spaced for Tech Lock and Ulti Clip. So it's compatible with both of those, which is nice. The strap that we're sending it with is not ambi, but if you take it off, it's really easy to get a Tech Lock or an Ulti Clip, and then that will make the sheath ambi.
Sure. Good stuff. Folks, if you're watching this and you like what you see here, you want to know more, like drill down on the specs or anything like that, links will be in the description for all these items. You can get your order in right now at KnifeCenter.com. And I'm looking at rough pricing for us right now. This knife, US made with a US made sheath, should be about $175, I think. final actual price will be at the links in the description below with all of these prices I do mention today, however. Very cool, man. Shall we move on?
Let's do it.
The Bel Air, I mean, extremely popular knife. You know, it'd be hard to argue against the original release last year as being like the knife release of the year. And so it makes sense that you guys are doing more with it.
For sure.
Tell us about this first one right here.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the Bel Air. Like, it's probably, like, in my mind, it's probably one of my best pieces that I've designed, if not my favorite. It's probably definitely my favorite piece I've designed, and I think it's, like, arguably one of the best ones that I've done. I've been really just, like, grateful that, people dig it, This one's fun because I think the Bel Air I made really compact because I really liked how, I like a smaller EDC knife. But I feel like for a lot of people, it's like, I'm not gonna say it's not accessible because it's designed to be comfortable in big and small hands. But I think sometimes having like a larger knife, we've talked about this before, like with your knife that you designed, like a big feature of that is how large the handle is. So if you have larger hands, you can really get a good grip on it. And I think that's something that we had the opportunity to make a larger version of this knife. And it's not like huge by any means. The blade is like 3.4 inches. So it's much more comparable to, like, if you look at like an Iridium, it's pretty similar size to that guy. So we're not talking like a massive knife, like a Medford or something crazy, but
it's about 3.4 inches on the blade length there.
Yes, you got that full flat grind. What's nice about this one too is that the blade stock is thicker. I love the thin sliciness on the other one, but when we scaled it up, we didn't just scale it up in the length, we also scaled it up in the thickness, which just feels cool. It gives you a different feel. It feels really like hefty in hand. We got the G10 handle scales on here as well, which I think really, with the knife in this size, really improve and enhance the grip on that. It feels really, really nice. It also feels pretty lightweight. So we weight relieved the liners and we have the G10 on there. So honestly, like, I don't know what the ounce like weight differential is between this and the original Bel Air, but in hand, it feels like really, really light while still filling your hand in a really, really satisfying way.
I'm looking at spec sheet right here. It looks like we're 2.7 ounces on the standard, 3.1 ounces on this. So not even a half an ounce difference between the two.
Yeah. Which is, I feel like, pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of gets to like my thought on it is, the original Bel Air was so like optimized for, lightweight everyday carry and slicing efficiency that even when you scale it up like this and beef it up a little bit versus the original, it's still a lightweight, very slicey knife. I mean, yes, the steel is thicker. I mean, it's but it's still not even like, it's not even a full 1/8 inch thick, I don't think, judging by my eyes there.
Just under that.
With that full flat grind there, it's still going to have great slicing geometry, just not as slicey.
Yeah. But it's going to perform incredibly, incredibly well. I just love, I don't know, it's just really fun. It's fun to get a knife that you love and then do like another version of it that I know is going to bless a lot of people who like the Bel Air, but maybe it's a little small for their hands, and I think that, I think it's really fun. One of our like mottos here at Kershaw is having something for everybody. And I think this is a big aspect of that.
Yeah, I should do well. And of course, Magna Cut steel, very tough, great edge retention, very stainless. I mean, it's still like the most well-rounded steel on the market, and there's a reason people like it for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, let's take a look. Price on this preliminary that I'm looking at should be about $165. For a US-made Magna Cut folder like this, I still think is a great deal. I mean, the original Bel Air still sits right around $150. Great deal. You get a bit more for not a lot more out of your wallet. So that's really nice. Let's compare it to the original Bel Air. I say original, but the second blade shape on the original size. So you can see it's bigger. It's not a huge difference between the two, but it's definitely a noticeable difference in the hand for sure. If this was just not quite there for you, the XL definitely has, it's got a bit more for sure.
And I think too, it doesn't feel like I have, those like smaller hands. Like the Bel Air fits my hands like perfectly. It's like my ideal EDC, but I feel like the larger one as well, like also fits really well. So if you have smaller hands too, like, I don't think that's going to be a detractor.
A hindrance. Sure. Gotcha.
Yeah. Well,
speaking of that clip point blade shape.
Yeah. We got this is the same blade from like the one that we did with the micarta handle scales, but we've blacked it out, which is really fun. Again, something for everybody, right? If you like that blade shape, but the working finish blade and the micarta isn't really your vibe, I think this is nice. I mean, I think the blacked out goes really well with this aggressive clip point anyways. We got a black PVD finish on that blade, so it's tiller coating. Yeah, it just feels so nice in hand. And again, that medium texture G10 on there feels really grippy and gives you almost a little bit more of a tactical feel. Obviously, this knife is designed for EDC, less of a tactical scenario knife. But if you like that vibe, I think this definitely tackles that pretty well.
For sure. And we're seeing kind of this clip point design language, seeing it across a few models in the lineup over the last year or so, including on the new Pack Mule and then on one of the new launches that we've got right here. It's becoming a bit sort of like identifiable as a Kershaw, and I think that's a cool thing, being able to have that kind of consistent design language that people can latch onto and think, oh, that looks like XYZ brand. Well done on that.
Thanks. Yeah, I feel like the clip point's been something that I've been working on for like the last couple of years. It's been like a blade that's really intrigued me personally, and it's been fun getting to do it. Like on the ZT side, we did the 512, which is one of my favorite clip point blades I've done. We had, I think, the runoff for Kershaw on the import side, and then like you mentioned, we got three in this lineup that have that, and it's just fun. I don't know. I feel like as a designer, you go through different. I'm sure you can relate to this, but you have different, almost like, not like trends, but like different areas of interest. Like, I love my reverse Tonto blades.
Yeah. Reverse Tontos.
Yeah. My Warncliffe blades, I love.
But yeah, you set off on a trail and you kind of explore where that trail leads for a while before you kind of take the next trail. So I get it. Absolutely. Price on this one should be about $155. Folks, again, you can get all these at the links in the description. Well, I mentioned, the launch series a second ago. We got 3 new autos in the launch lineup for this release, don't we?
Yeah, one of my favorite things about this release is this is like our 3rd release for the year, but like over half of what we have is US made, and it's just super exciting. So let's take a look at the Launch 22. This is one of Jim's designs. Absolutely knocked it out of the park. Just thinking of like a tactical, super sporty, rugged auto. This thing feels so incredible in hand. I love the ergos on it. I love how just like simple this handle is overall. You got a MagnaCut blade. I think this guy is like right around 3.5. I think it's like probably 3.45 or something inches.
That's exactly what my paper says here.
Nice. Okay. Cool. 3.45 inches of MagnaCut blade steel, black wash finish. And you got this fun bayonet grind on here. I think for a tactical auto, just the that grind is perfect for what this is doing. Nice spear point blade shape there. It's going to be just very, very good performance, and it's a high grind too. So you're still going to get that really good edge geometry.
Yeah,
that we like to put.
And that bayonet styling, that also gives, it acts like a big swedge near the tip. So like that really thins out the geometry out there a little bit for kind of some more just deft types of cuts. So I mean, you mentioned tactical, and it certainly is that, of course, but like I would EDC this in a heartbeat.
100%. Yeah, and the aluminum is going to help with that too, right? Keeping it super lightweight. I think people are pretty familiar with the Launch series, and we use aluminum a lot there. And it just there's a reason for it. It's very, very practical. I love that he put these micarta inlays in here too. This is a black micarta. So it's showing up pretty light now. As you carry that is going to darken substantially. And it adds like a nice visual element, but also texturally. I think a lot of times something that we hear back from people on some of the autos is that aluminum, that flat aluminum, can get a little bit slippery sometimes, which it doesn't really bother me, but I think it's something that having this here and then having these jimping strips here on the pommel and then right here on the end are really you can get a really good grip on this knife. And I think Jim did a lot to really drive that home.
Yeah, it's a very cool knife. I like it. 3.7 ounces is the weight. You're talking about the weight, so not super heavy. Robust blade here. We got a little bit thicker blade stock than even the Bel Air XL we just looked at. So again, with MagnaCut steel, you've got a real tough working knife that I still like the geometry on it for sure. About $170 is going to be the price on that one at the site. Next up.
Next up, we got the Launch, obviously, the Launch 23. There's so many numbers with these. I really appreciate you guys like going with us on this ride because there's so many different numbers to
Well,
keep
you
track
better
of.
be able to keep track of the numbers, or else how am I going to keep track of the numbers?
That's fair. That's fair. This is 23, which is crazy that we've done like 23
I know.
knives in the launch series. Yeah, it's really fun. This guy is designed. I kind of envision this as being like the baseline or like the standard issue, what you should expect from a launch series knife.
Mm-hmm.
We've got CPM 154 steel, aluminum handles, and I think it's just like it's not like a I feel like if you think of like the Launch 11, it's very like cigar shaped, very slim. If you think of like this knife 22 or the Launch 16 are both like very like workhorse tactical kind of knives. This is supposed to be kind of like the average makes it sound boring, but it's supposed to be like the sum of all of them, bringing them all together and into your essential. That's probably the better words, like the essential launch series knife. Two-tone finish on here with that clip point blade. My favorite thing about this knife is the handles, though. I've put these grooves into it and chamfers around the edge, so it is like incredibly comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And you get, even though it's all aluminum, you get a really strong purchase on this handle.
Yeah, I like it. Like that's a good. I think you used the word baseline there at the beginning, and I think that there's definitely an argument to be made for that, especially with this model. The launch series in general has always offered great value for folks looking to like dip their toes into the automatic knife genre. They're not sure what to get. It's like the launch series is an easy automatic answer because of the high value and the high quality to it. I mean, this knife right here is going to be about $150, and you've got USA made. You've got this, design that is going to work across a broad spectrum of uses. So, if they want it to be a little tactical, it could be a little tactical. If they want to take it wherever, they're going to be able to. And $150. I mean, come on. Very, very cool. 3.3-inch blade, just over 3 ounces in weight. And the action on it, like the reason the launch series to me always represents such a great value is the action is right up there with stuff that costs twice as much.
Yeah, absolutely. It snaps. And it's just really, I don't know. I feel like for me, this knife is all about the feel in hand.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so satisfying. So I'm really, that's the Launch 23. I'm super, super amped about this guy.
So if you're looking to get into an automatic you never have before, maybe give the 23 a look-see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And next up.
So you guys obviously have seen this design before. You've seen a very similar model to this before. This is our Launch Iridium, which is super exciting. USA made, obviously, like all our autos, with the Iridium design, which is really, really fun. You guys should be probably pretty familiar with it. Main change here, we got G10 front handle here, which is so comfortable. It feels just incredible in hand. Obviously, if you like the Iridium, I think that's a really good feature. And with this, also, we tried to kind of make it, with the Launch Iridium specifically, I tried in the colorways and stuff to make them feel a little bit more stealthy, because it is an automatic. So it's getting, obviously the styling is more EDC, but in the colors, we're trying to bring it into the kind of that tactical realm. And I think we do that here too, where it's all blacked out.
Yep. Excellent. Almost a 3.5-inch blade, Magna Cut steel. It's interesting to hold this next to the 22 right here, because kind of blade length and even the shape definitely have some similarities. So if you're kind of looking at the two going, well, which one should I go with? It depends on what you want. I would say if you want the strength a little bit more, go with the 22. I'm getting that right? The Launch 22. Yeah. But if you like your knife to be a little bit slicier, the Iridium has a slightly thinner blade overall. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have a little bit better slicing geometry on that knife. Again, not that the 23 is kind of bad in that regard, but between the two, the one leans one way, the other, slightly a little bit of a different flavor, so to speak. And good price on the Iridium there, about 170, should be just under $170 on the site. Again, full prices, at the links below, of course. All right. That's all for the U.S. stuff today, but we've got some of the budget line here as well, including this monster.
Yeah. Okay, you got to talk more on this one than I do. What are your thoughts, bro?
Well, I think it's a very beefy knife, especially for the money. This is going to be about $55. You're calling it the Atreides. 5.7-inch blade, SK5 65 MN carbon steel. So it's tough. This is built to take a beating for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And it's got that good powder coating on there as well, right? So it's gonna, yeah, dude. I took this camping for Labor Day, and we were like just batoning with it, and it is so good. Oh my gosh.
Normally I don't recommend like Tontos for people who like are wanting a knife to go camping or whatever, but for a wood splitter, I could definitely see this working well. You've kind of got like a faceted spine going on, which if you're batoning with a stick would kind of be gentler on your baton as you're driving it through the wood.
Like a sharp 90.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of a squishiness to the handle just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. We got that. A lot of our fixed blades, like if you're like the Step does this, the Camp 10 does this, where we've got that hard plastic at the front where it's going to hit the sheath, right, and lock in with the sheath. But then where most of your hand is, we've got that that thermoplastic rubber, right? So it gives you a softer touch grip. It's going to be a lot more comfortable in hand. But then when you're running it into your sheath, you're not going to like wreck the handle right on the retention there.
Right. Excellent. I like the little thumb or the little scallops you got front and back too for kind of some more precision grips.
Thanks.
That's fun, man.
This one was super fun. I feel like it's been a while since I've done anything. To me, this one feels a little bit more sci-fi. Obviously, the name kind of would imply that, and it was really fun to get the brief of like, hey, we want a fixed blade that's like a beefy, heavy duty, like tactical kind of vibe. And then I was like, well, can I make it with like a sci-fi aesthetic? And they're like, yeah, I guess sure, why not? So definitely a fun project for me. But I'm really happy with how the ergos turned out, and I think it's a lot of the sci-fi stuff that I did when I started was very like heavy on the details, and I think this is like simplified a lot in a way where it still feels I think really unique, but also is very streamlined, which is really satisfying as a designer.
And a lot of knife for the money too on top of that.
Yep. The one last thing, the sheath on this guy, the strap on the back, the retention strap, this whole thing is reversible, and it is TechLock compatible as well.
Thanks for paying attention to details like that. That's an easy way to make sure more people are happy with the end product, is just kind of spacing those holes just the right way. So good on you guys there too. And a couple budget folders to kind of round things out.
Yeah, we got the so I mean, this is very like this is just the serrated version of the Barricade. So if you're familiar with the Barricade, it's like basically like a rescue EMT kind of knife. You got your glass breaker on here. You got, I think, 8CR steel, assisted, orange handle, so super high vis. And then we got the serrations on there as well, which honestly for this one I think is pretty fitting. If you're going to be cutting through a seatbelt with your blade or whatever, or you're in some kind of like quicker scenario, I think the serrations are pretty nice.
Yeah.
The main reason usually personally I don't use serrations a lot is because the sharpening is like harder than with an edge. But for something like this, this is intended for an emergency situation. Obviously you can EDC these as well. I think the design is really comfortable. I think the blade shape's really practical. But I think having the serration, this is like one of the best candidates you can have for serrations.
Well, and especially like being able to offer like an EMT geared product like this that isn't just like a gas station knife, but is still very affordable. I mean, you've seen those knives at the proverbial gas station with the the seatbelt cutter and the glass breaker and this, and it's even got the like EMT graphics on it and everything, and they're terrible.
Yeah,
but they're affordable, and EMTs don't have to worry about wrecking the knife or losing it in the heat of the job or anything like that. You get a quality knife here for just about $35. It does all those things without being something that's just going to fall apart as you use it. And that, I think, is a really, really good thing to have on the market for people who really need a tool like this that they can rely on. Right
on. Yeah. Yeah.
What are you here for? I'm doing your job.
Dude, I ask myself that every time we meet up. You make my life so easy. All right, the last one we got is called the Raygun. This knife is fun. I really like this design. This also is one of the ones Jim did, and again, I think he really knocked it out of the park, because this is a budget-friendly everyday carry knife, and it has all the considerations that I would want in an everyday carry. I love my I'll say sheep's foot for you and your comment friends. Sheep's foot blade with that low tip. It's so usable. And I think in a knife like this, like if I'm buying this knife, this is not a safe queen knife. I'm buying this knife so that I can use and abuse. And a lot of times in this size too, you're going to be using it for utility stuff. So having that blade shape with a nice high grind panel on there with the assisted and stuff, like the handle's comfortable. Like there's basically everything that I would want to carry in a budget utility knife is present here.
And it is budget. We're talking somewhere around $23, I think, less than 25, I should say, at the very least. So very affordable. Assisted, like you mentioned, simple steel. We're dealing with 4CR here,
Yep.
But a very deep carry pocket clip, reversible. Yep, reversible. So yeah, just a cool little budget thing. Could be a good gift knife for some folks too, especially folks getting started, looking for their first knife for someone. Could be a good option for you.
100%. I love so much. I'm sure I've said this before talking to you, but I love that our budget knives still have such a solid build quality, and I would still be happy to carry them. Which is just I'm really grateful that just as a brand, that's something that is a big deal to us.
For sure.
So anyways, that's the Raygun. You should go check it out.
Excellent. And we were talking to, I think our Kershaw sales rep before, a couple weeks ago at the point we're filming this. And he said, you guys had the name before the Olympics last year, right?
Yeah.
No connection.
I was thinking about should I make a joke about that? Yeah. I don't want to say it was inspired by that performance, but no, it was not. It was chosen outside of that, but it's for me anyways, especially since it's one of Jim's knives, it's a very happy coincidence.
Yeah. Well, folks, I'm looking forward to what you do with these in the meme pictures already, so it'll be good.
Amen. I look forward to seeing it.
Hey, Andrew, thank you so much for joining us. Sorry to give you a hard time about the Barricade serrated there. That was not my intention. We're just joshing around.
You're good, dude. I love it.
Folks, if you want to get your hands on any of these knives, check out the links in the description. They'll take you to KnifeCenter.com where you can see all the specs in granular detail, better photos, and of course the pricing is all right down below. Andrew, thank you again, my friend.
Thank you, man. I'll see you soon.